Good evening. I am looking across platforms because I don't see Amazon Live. I do see TikTok Live, and thank you, Desiree and Stephen, for joining me there. I am looking across other platforms. I'm missing Instagram Live and Amazon Live, which doesn't appear to be coming through Restream. But I want to thank those that are here. It is prime time at 6:26. Victoria Law and others that have joined. I'm Marcus Holmes, the HR Passion Guy with some HR Passion to go. And as an author, I want to talk to you a little bit about the gratefulness journey every day. What are you doing in the next 30 days to transform your life? This is the last day of the Prime Days, and this is my first book that is available. As you can see, it's a short read, just about 75 pages, available on Amazon now. And so I want to talk a little bit about the gratefulness journey every day, and in the hopes that you will join me on what I know is an extraordinary journey, a transformative journey, and a continual journey. It's not a journey. It's, gratitude is thought of as being aspirational, that it is some future point that you become this state of being. Gratefulness is in the moment, awe inspiring feeling of grateful, right? But it's in the moment. It is in progress. It is every moment. It is every second. It is every opportunity. And therefore, it is not aspirational, some point or state of being in the future. You are becoming grateful, right? You are being grateful before you get to the state of continual being, if that makes any sense. And moving kind of slow with this because I want to make sure if I can get my um, Amazon Live in here, I'm gonna do my best to do it. Because for some reason it is not happening yet. Something is going awry. All right, I'm gonna try one more time and I'm gonna keep it moving because that's what we have to do. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity for you to join me, whichever platform you're joining on. Excuse me, something in my eye. And I just want to share a few tidbits with you. I may have to double back to Amazon a little later if I'm unable to get on, which it appears I'm having great challenge in doing so. All right. Okay. I'm just going to double check one more thing because I think it is telling me something that I don't want to hear. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm going to figure it out at another time. I'll just have to go live there separately. Um, hate doing that. But thank you for joining us, whether you're Mahamad or any of the other folks that have joined us on TikTok, folks that are joining us, Sunny, and others that have joined us. Hello, I just want to say good evening to you. And thank you for being here. I'm just trying to say hello to everybody. Okay. I'm Marcus Holmes, the HR Passion Guy with a little HR Passion to go, and I am the author of a book called The Gratefulness Journey Every Day. It's not the first book I started writing, but it's the first book that got to published. And this book I started writing during the pandemic, which I want to say to all of you, don't stop whatever it is you're doing because you're closer than you think. And so once I sat down and put my mind to it and designed this cover um, myself and self-published this book, I did it. Now I need to double back and finish the other two books that I started. Plus, I'm now inspired to write this as a series to talk about my gratefulness for my friends and gratefulness for the food and the recipes that have surrounded my life. So this is going to become a series of 3 books, I think, at least, around gratefulness, because I believe you should be grateful for the family that you've chosen, which are your friends. And I've had some incredible friends. Some of them are on the other side, and some of them are still living and well. And so I want to share with you about my friends in the hopes that you will think about your circle of relationships and use that to power and transform your life. Think of any friend that you've had that's had an impact on you and what it would be like to share that impact with someone else, meaning be that friend for someone else. That gratefulness around that friendship should permeate other relationships. It should inform how you navigate other relationships. And so there will be, I think, a trilogy, if you will. This is more a how to than anything else. It is about the practice of gratefulness and what it has done in my life and what it continues to do in my life, because it's not a completed work, it's a continual work. And I'm going to share a little bit from the book with you. Again, it is available on Amazon. It's about 75 pages. It's an easy read, so I'm told. It's got 4.8 stars out of 5, I believe, on Amazon. Thank you so much to those that have purchased and read it. It comes with a journal, and I want you to consider reading this book because it'll transform your life. I know I'm moving slow with this because I just am so surprised that it didn't come live on Amazon. All right. So over the next few minutes, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the book and about some concepts in the book that I think will help you in your journey. If I want to ask you a question, it's kind of an opening and a heart check, kind of a quick question before diving in. Can you recount the time, or when was the last time that you felt truly peaceful in the midst of daily or life's chaos? Can you tell me a time or when the last time was that you felt truly at peace in the middle of your day's chaos or in the middle of your life's chaos? Okay. So drop a heart if today has been a whirlwind, or this week has been a whirlwind, or this month has been a whirlwind, or this quarter has been a whirlwind, or this year has been a whirlwind. Okay. Drop a heart, a like emoji if today has been a whirlwind. Thank you, Airbnb King. I want to connect with you. I don't know if we're connected or not because I really want to get into the Airbnb space, I believe. Or put a star if you found a calm moment in the midst of your chaos already. Okay. And I see some folks interacting with me on TikTok, and I appreciate that. I'm looking to see what folks are on other platforms, dropping their hearts and stars. Good evening, Sherry Moody on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you will click share and tag someone to join us tonight. I just want to share some things about the Gratefulness Journey every day, which is we're in prime time. It's the last day of prime, and I want to just encourage you, if you are putting things in a shopping cart, consider this book because it is transformative work. I know I'm biased, but I'm going to tell you why. And so, Sherry, thank you so much. Drop a heart in the comments if today has been a whirlwind, or if you can't remember the last time that you had peace in the midst of your day's chaos. Drop a star if you found a calm moment already in today and this week and this month and this year. Okay. If you're like me, I believe most of us wake up with good intentions, right? We say, I'll stay calm today. I'll prioritize myself and my self-care today. Anybody ever woke up saying that with good intentions? But by noon, we've answered 20 emails. We've juggled calls from customers and stakeholders alike. We have cortisol spikes, right? Does that sound familiar? If that sounds familiar, type yes if you know what I'm saying. You start out in the morning, Thank God it's Friday. Or my favorite saying is, today I'm getting in favor formation. As I'm going into the weekend, I'm getting in favor formation so that I can be refueled, rejuvenated, recharged to do it again, right? And then by noon, you've had 4 major breakdowns, 3 customer complaints, 2 stakeholders screaming, and a partridge in the pear tree, right? And so by noon, you're like, what happened to that good intention that I started out with, right? Life can just out of nowhere hit you, right? And here's what happened to me, and I talk about in the book. I lost my sister suddenly to illness. Lost meaning her absence is a void, okay? My brother in the same year, gone in a moment. In a short time, January and November. And I found myself in the ER room with this whitewash smell all around me. And I was feeling like, boy, is the world changing in such a moment. It's closing in on me. I need to breathe. I need to catch my breath. I can't catch a break. It felt like a rock bottom moment. No meditation app, no quick fix worked. I needed something deeper than a productivity hack. And then one of the things that came to me in that time of holding my sister's lifeless body, as I write in the book, I remembered, thank you for my sister. Thank you for everything she's taught me. And it shifted me to some degree to be able to navigate those first moments where my beautiful niece and nephew were in a moment saying goodbye to their mom. It was unbelievable. And they will tell you that I had this calm that didn't make sense to them. Why is he so calm? Why is he taking this so well? I wasn't taking it well. But that moment of remembering all that my sister was to me, all of the wealth of things that she had poured into me, made me grateful. I didn't recognize it in that moment, but it became my lifeline in that moment. I really want to refer to that as a micro gratefulness moment. It's one maybe unseemingly thing that's a tiny thing to many that appears when everything feels shattered. It's a micro aggression, gratefulness moment. Okay. And I want to do this brief exercise with you, kind of a micro gratefulness moment. I want you to look around and ask yourself, now, what is one small thing that I have right now? Could be your phone, could be my book, could be a coffee cup or mug. It could be your pet. It could be having a roof over your head. Type it in the chat. One small thing. Look around. Put your hand on something. Put your mind on something. One small thing. Name one small thing. Drop it in the comments. One small thing. I'm going to give you a second to do that as I look across platforms. One small thing. We're going to call it a micro gratefulness moment. One small thing. Anybody with me? One small thing. Okay, I'm going to give you a second to respond, because that's what I'm writing about in the gratefulness journey every day. Basically, I'm asking you to join me in 3 things, small or big. It's the 3-3-3 habit. Each morning, Write down 3 things, identify 3 things that you're grateful for. And if you get the book, there's a journal that you also get for free. 3 things you're grateful for. Say them aloud 3 times each. And then share them with 3 people as you go throughout your day, your workplace, the coffee place, your lunch place, uh, um, a family member. I'm grateful for this cup of coffee that I couldn't afford last week. I'm grateful for my pet who shows me love unconditionally. Whatever it is you're grateful for, 3 things each morning. Speak them aloud 3 times. I'm grateful for my dog, Max. I'm just using that as an example. My dog, Max, passed away many years ago. 3 things, say each of them 3 times aloud and share them with 3 people. Now, that's not too difficult. Would you agree? What it does, it begins, the science says that it rewires your neural pathways to give you shortcuts to get to positivity. And these repeated gratefulness statements lower the stress hormones and give your mind these neural pathways to go to less stress or to activate less stress hormones. So you really feel the shift. You feel it. I want to know from you if you've tried grateful journaling or journaling before. Has anybody tried it before? Just say yes in the comments if you have. Hit a thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for no. And if you have done any journaling, what's a benefit that you've noticed? Any benefit that you've noticed from journaling? Just checking across platforms. So if you see me looking across various things, I know that I'm not Amazon Live, but I'm hopeful to get to be live everywhere else. So I'm just checking across platforms. Forgive me if it seems that I'm looking in different places. I actually am, because I'm just checking across platforms. But I'm interested to know if you've ever journaled and had any monicum of success with it. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. I used to think that gratitude and gratefulness, as I described them, gratitude more aspirational, gratefulness more awe-inspiring in the moment, feeling that shift that we just described. I used to think it was fluffy until I was in that ER with my sister. It helped me to build, recalibrate, really. So that whatever is happening or coming doesn't mean I don't feel those things. I don't even deny myself the permission to feel all of the emotions that go with grief and sadness and sorrow and betrayal and anger, all of the things that could be a result of whatever I'm experiencing. I don't say deny yourself that. Give yourself permission to feel it, but allow gratefulness to shift so that you can feel the shift, which will shift your perspective of how you go through these unhappy moments, times, and situations. Okay? So it helps you to build a life around gratefulness. And the stress that you're feeling will give way. It'll give way to clarity. It will help your relationships deepen. And even small daily wins will become wins again. You know, those things that used to seem like they were wins for you, and now you don't have those at all. When you practice gratefulness, you will notice the small wins. Okay? So if you're at all ready to go from surviving, simply surviving the chaos of life, right? And so much is happening in our world. I just was watching a news story of a young woman who was sent home from McDonald's by her manager twice. The third time, she came back with a knife and killed the manager. Our world is filled with swift transition, filled with a lot of turmoil and tumult and a lot of angst and aggression. And if you feel like you're just barely keeping your head above water, you're surviving your chaos instead of thriving in it, I want to challenge you to consider the gratefulness journey every day. Okay? And you will be able to make peace your default. Make peace your default. Okay? I want to talk to you a little bit about rewiring your brain for joy. On a scale of 1 to 10, how joyful do you feel right now? Drop me a number in the comments. Scale of 1 to 10, how joyful do you feel right now? How joyful are you feeling right now? Scale of 1 to 10. Just checking across platforms again. Nadine, thank you for joining. Drop in the comments, please. Charles Douglas, thank you for joining. Just say hello so I know you're tracking with me, and I'm asking on a scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10. Thank you for tracking with me across platforms and just looking across platforms. How joyful do you feel right now? Okay. I'm going to be looking at another device. I'm just trying to track with you wherever you are. So forgive me if it's, oh, did I do that? Okay. I'm just trying to track with you wherever you are. Okay. Sherry Moody, I'm trying to track with you too. I hope you're still here. If you are, give me a heart so that I'll know that you're still here. And I just am tracking across several devices. So if you see me looking around, that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep you engaged because all of the feeds are not coming through to Restream, and Amazon's feed is missing. So I have to do a separate something on Amazon. I wanted you to drop, anybody tracking with me, can you hear me good? Drop on a scale of 1 to 10, drop the number that how much joy you feel right now. How joyful do you feel right now? Can you drop that in the comments? Okay, Sunny's still tracking with me. I appreciate it. All right. I'm asking because we live in a joy deficit crisis, right? Think of all the stuff, the negativity you see on screens. Think of the deadlines that you're up against for bills and life. Think of the news cycle of what 47 is doing almost every minute, the back and forth with him and Elon and all other types of things, the courts blocking things that he's doing, birthright citizenship, all types of things are happening in our world. And it can chip away, and often does, chip away at our happiness. So if you rather binge joy than binge watch Netflix tonight, give me a fire emoji. If you say, wait a minute, I want some joy. I love Netflix and chill, but I want some joy and chill. That's you, give me a fire emoji. Okay. Neuroscience tells us that gratefulness, the practice of it, activates the brain's dopamine and serotonin in a way that these function as circuits. These are the same pathways that give us laughter and that we get when we have a good hug. Anybody had a good hug lately? I got a good hug yesterday from a 101-year-old Daisy. She gives the best hugs. And so it opens that pathway for laughter and that feeling, that giddy feeling that you have, that hair on the back of your neck feeling that you have. That's why cultivating gratefulness is like rocket fuel for joy. That's why I want to know, how joyful do you feel right now? Because then when you're feeling low, when you're having a joy deficit, is a great time to practice gratefulness because it releases the dopamine. It activates that dopamine and serotonin, so it gets you on the path of laughter and feeling giddy like a good hug would do. I've been there where you hit burnout that I can't even face. I was there when I had 3 friends and associates that had known for most of them for almost 40 years transition back to back. I would wake up at 3 in the morning with my heart racing. Blood pressure would be sky high. I would feel this sensation that, oh, I think I'm having a heart attack. But I forced myself to practice gratefulness. And one of the things I did in practicing that gratefulness on a daily way is to thank God for the museum of memories that I have. Because listen, you should take inventory of everything that you have when you are practicing gratefulness. And one of the things that you have is your memories. Don't discount how powerful your memories are when you're walking down a path of grief, when you're walking down a path of pain. You can call from your memory the things, the people, the circumstances, the events that you're grateful for. And this will help you turn burnout to bliss. And this odd little thought about gratefulness is cracking the code on dopamine. It opens that dopamine valve in your brain so you feel the spark of control again, that life isn't out of control. Life is taking you on a ride, but you're firmly in your seat and you've got the seatbelt. And you've got to unlock that dopamine in the middle of the craziest roller coaster ride ever. It's moving from burnout to bliss. Have you ever just seen things coming at you and like, oh God, what next? Oh my goodness. It's like Job. If you follow Job in the Bible, one thing after the other seems to happen to him, right? To where you can get burned out. You're tired of trying. You're tired of trying to make ends meet, tired of trying to make relationships work, tired of trying to make your boss understand, tired of sick and tired of tired. And at that point, you've got to open the valve to dopamine. It's rewiring your brain for joy. Okay? One of the ways that I want to share with you in rewiring your brain, excuse me, as I said earlier, I'm looking across platforms, just checking in with people. I see Vonda, one of my favorite people, has joined over on TikTok. Thank you so much. And checking on Instagram and on Facebook. And Sherry, I hope you're still tracking with me over there. And Nadine, thank you so much. One of the things that I try to help people implement in this practice of gratefulness, and I'm talking about the gratefulness journey every day, this is the last Prime Day. And so I'm just sharing some things from the book that's available, is this gratefulness pause ritual. Okay. Most people have a smartphone, some kind of phone. I want you to set an alarm 3 times in the day. You can do it as a reminder, a notification, whichever is going to beep, buzz, or shake, whichever will do that for your phone. And when that alarm goes off, stop. Whatever you're doing, stop, close your eyes, breathe in to the count of 7, hold it for the count of 4, exhale to the count of 7, and then name one thing you're grateful for. That single set of seconds resets and interrupts the negative spiral that you can find yourself going in. Now, You can set the alarms at strategic times during the days, the times that you're most stressed, the times that you have to come in contact with conflict, the times that you're driving and you feel like it's road rage. You can set those alarms as strategically as you need to. And yes, if you do it while you're driving, you're going to have to need to pull over because you can't close your eyes and drive, right? But 3 times in the day. Breathe in to the count of 7. Try that where you are now. Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to get as much in because you're flooding your brain with oxygen, which tells you you're not in fight or flight. You hold it to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's almost like you're letting it out slowly, but surely you're letting go. Then you think, what is one thing I'm grateful for? You'll find yourself interrupting these limiting beliefs, this negative self-talk, this narrative that everything is spiraling, everything is out of control. No, your seat is firm and God is in control. Okay? Remember, breathe in 7, hold it for 4, exhale for 7. One thing you're grateful for. Okay? If you are in a relationship, in a covenant relationship, you have a partner, a significant other, I'd love for you to try this with them, where you face each other on the bed or on the floor, whichever's most comfortable, and with bare feet, touch each other's feet. I know some people are like, oh, I don't want nobody touching my feet. Feet, preferably, palms, potentially. Do the same breathing exercise to the same counts. Inhale for 7, hold for 4, exhale for 7, and ask each other one thing about the other that you're grateful for. Do this when conflict arises. Do this when disagreements happen. Do this where spats happen. Do this before you're getting ready to do something important. It will deepen your connection and you'll watch how your body softens to the other person. That's your nervous system switching off fight or flight. And these micro moments add up. They build up equity in your emotional bank and that emotional bank account. Okay? So it's really important that you understand chaos is going to happen. Interruptions to your life, to your plan are going to happen. That's okay. And even when it doesn't feel okay, it's okay to feel un-okay. It's okay to not feel okay. But don't stay there. After you sat in it, breathe and use gratefulness as a way to trip your mind in rewiring for the joy. Okay? The people that have been on the gratefulness journey every day, who've really leaned into it, have told me they feel less stressed. They feel more in control of the moment when they have, after they've done a consistent week of these gratefulness pauses. It gives you clearer focus, improves your sleep, and strengthens your relationship. Okay? Now, the Prime Day clock is winding down, and I want you to commit yourself to starting your pauses tomorrow. If you are going to commit to starting your gratefulness pauses tomorrow, drop an emoji in the comments, preferably a thumbs up. I want to join you on your journey to do this. Okay? Gratefulness can help you build a path to better sleep. It can help you break sleep stress loops. It can help you with midnight revelations. And it can help you to build a ritual around journaling. Okay. It can also turn your pain into purpose. What if your greatest hurt could become your greatest gift? In the book, I talk about post-traumatic growth, how adversity can really be a catalyst with deeper meaning. After losing 3 siblings, I asked myself, what lessons do they leave me? See, I decided that their deaths would fuel a mission to help me find light in darkness and then to shine that light on others. I want to encourage you to share one tough experience you faced without shame. No shame, just name it. And ask yourself, what did I learn? How did this strengthen me? Type your lesson. So I, in the book, talk about a lesson, a failure, gain, or blessing, that everything that happens really falls in one of those categories. And I teach the gift question in every hardship, asking, what gift am I receiving in this hardship? See, it's not about denying pain. It's about finding the seed of purpose that's being born out of the pain. One person wrote, my layoff taught me resilience and reignited my creativity. Sudden unemployment was the gift of freedom to launch a passion project, a business, to get out of the rut that you were stuck in. If you're ready to really turn your scar into a story, read the chapter From Wounds to Wings in the Gratefulness Journey every day as a guide. Just read that chapter. As a matter of fact, not specifically that chapter. That's a sub title, actually. I want to read just a bit from chapter 5, speak the 3 things aloud 3 times each. I think I'll read from chapter 4. It's a section that I often refer to because I would not be in the work of the gratefulness practice without Pandit Dasa, who was a former monk turned mindfulness guru, who was one of my greatest teachers in the area of mindfulness in just a short time that I attended his sessions at Work Human in 2017. And of course, the worker brother, David Steindl-Rast, who is the guru of gratefulness. And he, bless him, I think he's coming up on 97 years old. I got to find out if I'm saying it correctly. 97, 98. He's been blessed to live a very long life. And so I went to a training, a session in Phoenix, Arizona. And here's what I wrote about that time at Work Human. I was seated at the JW Marriott in Phoenix, Arizona. It was 60 degrees Fahrenheit, a cool spring night for late May. And I was seated by the fire pit at a restaurant called Mesa. The flames from the pit seemed to clarify the events of the day as I marveled at the awesomeness of this world that God created. I watched as the blazing sun delivered the sweetest goodnight kiss to the still desert plains. The trees behind me were talking about it too. They whispered the purifying message of the sun's love for the desert and how he came in the room like a good father to tuck in the desert brush. In that moment, stolen from the euphoric buzz of the Work Human Conference 2017, with its keynote speaker, former First Lady Michelle Obama, I decided to put to practice some of the mindfulness techniques from a session earlier that day. In that moment, I focused. I concentrated every minute of my consciousness on my breathing with marked and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice. On the inhalation and exhalation, until I was free from all other distractions, I restarted at least 6 times to achieve removing distractions. I slowly repeated these words: Lord, the future is too uncertain and the past is too convicting and judgmental. So empower me for the now, that I can be present in this moment. I suggest you do the same thing as you begin your new habit activity of identifying the 3 things for which you are grateful each day. I became an observer of what happens to me without judgment or assignment in the moment. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil. But for my part, I have long perceived the nature of good and its nobility, the nature of evil and its meanness, and also the nature of the culprit himself, who is my brother, not in the physical sense, but as a fellow creature, similarly endowed with reason and a share of the divine. Therefore, none of those things can injure me, for nobody can implicate me in what is degrading. Neither can I be angry with my brother or fall foul of him, for he and I were born to work together like a man's 2 hands, feet, or eyelids, or the upper and lower rows of his teeth. To obstruct each other is against nature's law, and what is irritation or aversion but a form of obstruction? These are words, of course, from Meditations of Emperor Caesar Marcus Aurelius Antoninus Augustus, right? Who was a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, right? I used it in the book, and I use it here to remind us that we're all given power by God to shape how we receive what is given to us each day. Excerpts from the Gratefulness Journey every day. Thank you so much for joining us, Kevin K. W. Williams. Those of you that are on TikTok and those of you that are on Twitter, I'm sharing a few of the gems from the book and the walk through the Gratefulness Journey every day, turning pain into purpose, which is one of the many things, the thing number 4. Another thing I will share at 7:10 and draw it to a close is building deep relationships through gratitude, through gratefulness. Do you go throughout your day, your week, and take some moments to tag a friend, to chat with someone who's been in support of what you're doing for this week, to let them know that you are grateful for them, that you appreciate what they do? When you're expressing this gratefulness, it releases oxytocin, which is considered the bonding hormone. That's why saying thank you to someone can literally bring you closer to them. Did you know that? I wrote one of my college mentors a handwritten letter. I was thanking her for her guidance to me. 3 days later, she called me with a letter in hand, and we wept together. That conversation changed both of our lives, and it deepened our connection and relationship. Sometimes, um, and this is a practice that I teach or encourage people to do, sometimes instead of texting your gratitude or gratefulness to someone, leave them a voice note so that they can hear your inflection and they can savor the sound of your excitement, the sound of your joy as you're expressing gratitude or gratefulness to them. Sometimes you can do it in a gesture as a surprise coffee moment, a surprise delivery of coffee to their desk or to their home or to wherever. All of these are opportunities. And of course, you can do public shouts out if they are open to that on social media or elsewise. But these are 3 gratefulness gestures that will help to deepen your relationship. I'm a big fan of number 1, a voice note instead of a text. Give yourself this exercise. Write in your chat or write on paper or write in an email or write wherever, I appreciate, and put somebody's name in there because, and fill it out. Then the next time you see them or think of them, send it or send the voice recording of that. I appreciate the time that you did. I appreciate the time you took to, I appreciate that you were gracious with me. Gratefulness journey every day is a chance to transform not only yourself, but to deepen your relationships. You can also master resilience with gratefulness because life throws these curveballs, right? Loss of a relationship, divorce, health scares, relational rifts, job loss, loss of home. Resilience is our ability to bounce back and move forward. But oftentimes people crumble. The research around gratitude science shows that it highly correlates with higher resilience. So by focusing on the positive, you build an emotional muscle. Excuse me, couldn't get that out. So let's say you have a major project and some part of it fails. I have a good friend who's an IT guy, and he would kick himself. He's such a perfectionist. He would kick himself if a part of his protocols failed. One way to practice this gratefulness around as it's relative to resilience is to ask yourself, yeah, this failed, but what still went right? And what can be the fuel for my comeback? Could be team spirit, could be lessons learned, could be a failure, financial failure, blessing, gain, or lesson. What of these can fuel my comeback? You could also, in that journal, jot down the challenges that you overcame and put some grateful moment beside it. This will help strengthen your bounce back muscle. One reader wrote, my team walked out on me and it was awful, but I'm grateful that it revealed what I needed to change and who truly had my back. That insight led to a stronger, more aligned team. It's a toolkit for resilience. And you can then use these various components of the practice to create in your life, in your workplace, in your church, in your home, a culture of gratefulness. Organizations who practice gratefulness and who demonstrate and live a gratefulness culture can see 31% higher productivity and 23% lower turnover. I had an opportunity on many occasions, but in one in particular, to lead a team retreat for one of the departments I serviced. And I asked everyone to share one win from the past week. You should have seen them as they were talking. The energy shifted in the whole room. It was dead center in the presentation and the session. And, energy can sometimes wane as you go throughout a day-long session. But I saw the energy shift. I saw people smiling, laughing, becoming more engaged, coming up with more innovative ideas, more collaborative. And the productivity of those sessions, that one in particular, spiked. Part of what we did in that retreat in that time was that what I call gratefulness huddle, where each person names one success, one appreciation for another team member, and they pass it throughout the group based on that. People had surprise and blush and giddy, and the energy was palpable. You could feel in the room that it was bringing down walls, it was bringing down schisms, it was bringing down all of those things that get in the way of psychological safety and emotional safety. Try it at work, because that simple huddle can build trust, can align priorities, and spread positivity so that projects run more smoothly and that morale can skyrocket. Well, it's 7:18. I wanted to come on because I know that the gratefulness journey every day is a short and amazing transformative read. And many of you who have to date purchased it, 4.8 stars, I think, out of 5, tend to agree that this is useful for anyone who wants to reframe, rewire their joy journey so that every day, without regard to what you are experiencing, that you can achieve sheer joy through the practice of gratefulness. Before I go, I just want to share with you, I'm so grateful that MJ from Shires of Sunset did this little video for me. Her husband uses gratefulness as a practice to help with his anger management. A wonderful example of the power of gratefulness.
Marcus, I want to congratulate you on Love and Stuff. I really want you to know that staying grateful and understanding the power of what it is to be operating out of a space of abundance and gratitude is the most important part of every journey of every day. So Marcus June, congratulations on this book. It's on Amazon now. That makes me so proud of you and your family and me and my family, and every single person around us gets it. So good on you for bringing it into the hands and the laps and the Kindles of all the people. Okay, so we're gonna check it out. Can't wait to learn more.
I'm so grateful for MJ from Shines of Sunset. And I'm grateful for those of you that can hear my voice now. I hope you will consider it's Prime Day, it's prime time. I hope you will consider that if you are shopping Amazon and putting things in your cart, the Gratefulness Journey every day is available as paperback and ebook. And you will derive such transformative power if you apply the principles of this book. I know that I have, and many others have shared with me that they have as well. So thank you for your time. I will probably come on a little later if I figure out how to get Amazon Live included. And I just want to thank you for your time. Have a grateful evening.